All right, everybody. Scatterbrain Dad here. We are back. We are to the next property. This one's only like a minute, maybe if that, away from the other property. But yeah, as you can see here, there's a skiff. This stuff here, it potentially might melt off because last time I salted it really good. Sometimes that residue from that salt basically keeps these smaller storms, melting afterwards. But yeah, we're going to do our job and just plow it. I don't think they're open today, but if this doesn't melt and it snows tomorrow morning, it's supposed to snow. But if it doesn't all melt and then sits overnight, it's gonna be super slick and it's just gonna require more salt. And it won't clean up as easy if it's frozen. So I used to have some commercial properties, say banks. There was a gym I once did. I don't know, what was it? Gold's Gym back in the day. Now it's Vasa. But the story is basically, I'd get these people who would be like, oh no, don't do it today, it's Sunday. So I'd go out, I'd do my whole route, and they wouldn't melt off. So guess what I had to do the next day? I had to get up early and go push those few properties. And yeah, if it doesn't snow tonight, basically I won't have to come back to this property. Versus if I leave it and it doesn't snow again tonight, I'm gonna have to get up in the morning to come and check this property. Now, it could go two ways. It could all melt, or it couldn't melt, or it won't melt, I should say. And if it doesn't melt, I'll have to come back in the morning, obviously, and probably push a little bit, and I'd still make my money. But it's just for this one property. So I basically get up, do all that, basically my point is I could possibly sleep in tomorrow if it doesn't snow again. It's calling for more snow though, so I'm just giving you a scenario on why I do these properties on Sundays even if they're not open. Then that's why, so I don't have to go back. So if it doesn't melt off, or say I get up and come back in the morning and it's all melted off, well, I don't make any money. I basically got up early, came to this property, and everything would be melted, and I would have just wasted a bunch of my time driving over to check on this one property. So even the banks, stuff like that, all my customers, I just let them know that, we're pushing if there's snow. I don't care if it's Sunday, we're pushing the property, and that's why, so that I don't have to get back up. But like I said, there's been times where it's slicker than crap, and if I don't remove the snow right now, it could melt off later, but it could still be wet later. If it's wet later and it freezes tonight, then basically you're gonna have an ice rink in the morning. So you may have to come back and salt anyways, which costs more for the customer if we do it that way as well, because we still charge them for the salt. I guess it won't cost more because if we didn't push the snow, but you get my drift. It just eliminates a little more stress on, oh no, do I gotta get up? Do I gotta go check this property? Do I gotta go check that property? What do I do? So, yeah, that's that. I don't know how you guys do it. I know that there's a lot of people who okay, so let me ask you this, you guys. Do you have properties that are a specific inch? So we don't show up unless there's 2 inches. Now I know some of my buddies have properties like that. I used to have a lot of properties like that. I don't anymore. And one of the main reasons I don't is because, for one, I'm working more by having, basically I work it out and I tell people that, look, because they ask me all the time, well, when do you come? Do you come at 2 inches? When do you start? And I say, well, basically, if the lot is covered like this, obviously you can see that there is a lot of snow, or not a lot of snow, but everything is covered. So the ground is completely covered. That's when we go out. I've had those properties where, you know, they say, oh, we don't want you to come unless there's, you know, 4 inches. We don't need you to come unless there's 4 inches. Okay, well, now you're at the bottom of my list because I'll put you on the list, but now you're at the bottom. Well, guess who is the first person to call me when there's 4 inches of snow? That client. And it's an emergency. They need it pushed right then. And I remind them, no, I told you from the beginning that you're going to be put at the bottom of our list. I know there's 4 inches. I know it's slippery. I know cars can't get out of your complex because it's slippery and you have a slight incline. Well, sorry, it's not my fault. So I stay away from those properties. If you're new to the snow plowing business and you're just picking up everything, don't. There's no need to. I mean, you can set your own rules. There's enough work in the snow removal that you can tell those clients, no, sorry, I don't do that. It's either I push if there's anything, or I don't take it on. Because, and sometimes someone will call me at the end, you know, when I'm like heading home, and they'll be like, oh, hey, you know, I just need someone to push, or like a neighbor will come over and they'll be like, hey, will you push this complex real quick? You know, our guys didn't show up, or blah, blah, blah. If I'm free, I'll do it. But I tell them I don't have time to add you to my regular schedule because I don't do this type of work. I don't just do it when you decide you want it done. I do it when I decide it needs done. That way, it just, like, same thing. It just eliminates a lot of stress on me because I don't have to sit there and, you know, there's been times where I headed home. I never heard from the client. So I went home because I was done. I was done with my route. I was done with all the properties I do. And then guess who called me? Right when I got home. Oh, can you come back out and do this? But, you know, in a way, I technically felt obligated, obviously, because I told them, yes, I would come plow the property. So now I don't take on those properties. That's just me, though. I'm just giving you my advice, what I've learned over the years. I mean, you don't have to take this advice. You can pick up anything you want. Obviously, it's your business. But I know there's a lot of headaches in the snow removal business with stuff like that. So, I don't know. I just figured I can tell you guys what I've learned, what I'm doing in my business to keep my business up and running, but at the same time, I've prepared myself over the summertime that all this is just extra money to me. I mean, I've worked it out to where I save a bunch, I hustle hard, I do extra work, I've raised some prices, just to keep you around, you know? I mean, you gotta figure that if you're solely relying on snow removal to get you through the winter, whether you're a construction worker, whatever your business may be, if you don't have that little chunk of money in the bank, you're just kind of flirting with your business as far as failing. Not failing, but, you know, I was just talking to one of my other buddies, and he said, well, if it's not snowing, I got to go out and do concrete. And that sucks. Like, those were his exact words. I don't know if he's watching this. I'm not going to, you know, name his name or his company, but that's reality. He's got to do that. I don't have to do that. I'm comfortable, and it makes me a little less stressed and a lot more happier knowing that I'm not sitting around and having to wait for that snow. You know, if it snows, great. I love it. I love to push snow. This is fun for me. Like, it's awesome. This is like, I don't know, playing in this Jeep and even a truck with a plow on it. It's fun. I don't care who you are, man. It's just fun. It is fun to get out and push snow. If you've never pushed snow before, I suggest you go get a wheeler, You go do something, get something so you can just go even push snow around your neighborhood. When I was a kid, that's all I did. My dad had a wheeler, we had a plow on it, and that's where we kind of started because we thought it was fun. And other guys were like, hey, come, we can give you some properties, why don't you come make some money? All right. That's kind of where it started with my brother. But yeah, plan ahead for it. And like I said, don't just rely on snow removal to keep you going through the winter. And that's why I save, and that's why I'm picky on who I choose as clients, because I don't want to be stuck not making the money. But also, I've been there back in the day where I was super stressed if it wasn't snowing. I mean, it's stressful, dude. If you're not making money, you don't want to lose everything you got. But also, you might have a successful lawn care business or something you do during the summer that brings you good money. Well, what's the fun of having to worry about money all winter if it's going to be that stressful? I don't think it's fun. I hate it. So, yeah, I don't know. Just talking to my buddy there, he just seemed stressed. He was super excited that we finally got snow, and I get it. I mean, I've been there. I've been hoping and praying years prior to be like, hey, what am I gonna do? And it's kind of funny because the amount of money you can make in snow removal, it'd be like last week of the month, man, and I'm just like tripping. Oh my heck, how am I gonna make some money to get me by this next month? And then it was like that last week, man, snowstorm after snowstorm, and I'd make enough money that last week to pay all my bills the next month. But the whole month I was just stressed to the max. You know how it goes if you're married. You start stressing about money, and you know where that leads to. Just fighting with your spouse, and why don't you go get a job, blah blah blah. It happens. I was very blessed though with my wife. She understood. She knew I'd do whatever I needed to do to go make some money. And there were a few years when we were first married that I did go work another job. We went and worked some jobs, and then once it started snowing a lot, we would quit them and just go do snow removal. But yeah, I'm past that. So if I could give, we're gonna wrap it up here because we're about done, but if I can give you any advice for some of you guys who may be starting out, and some of you old timers who've been around long enough too, you guys can chime in. But let's basically the gist of it is plan ahead. If you got a business in the summertime, put a chunk of money in the bank, save some money, get yourself a little nest egg so you don't have to stress as much during the winter time. That would be my advice, because it does not snow all the time. And there were years where I'm super thankful that I had that money put away, because otherwise it would have been in a world of hurt. And the sad thing is once you get behind on your bills, it makes it that much harder to catch up, even if you're making good money in the summertime. So anyways, I don't know if you enjoyed this video. Like it, comment, tell me your thoughts. If there's anything that I can't, watch this, wham! We're just trying to push that pile just a little bit more out of the way, because I don't have a whole lot of room to put snow at this property, and I can't push it off the property because people get mad. So we're just moving this pile back a little bit. Give me some more room. But like I said, if you got any questions, comments, concerns, what am I doing that maybe you are not doing? Am I doing something wrong? I don't know. I'm not an expert. I'm not the king of snow removal by any means, but I feel like I've been doing it long enough. I could maybe provide a little bit of insight. And even though myself, I'm done growing, I'm picky. I pick and choose kind of which work I kind of want to do, because there's just some of those jobs that you absolutely hate, as far as dreading to, even in the lawn care business, it was just like, man, I hate going to this property. I hate it. Anyways, actually, I've got some salt here in my hopper. I'm just gonna start salting real quick before I end this. But yeah, like I said, let me know if you got anything you want me to discuss, or if you got any more questions on, you know, anything, I'll try to give you the best advice I can. And I think I've got some good enough advice that I can help you grow your business, even though I don't want to grow mine, if that makes sense to some of you. I got some good insight. I think if I wanted to grow the company big again, it's easily doable. I just don't want to do it. So anyways, you guys have fun. I'm gonna push this property, or salt this property, and I'm going to go check my other properties. Most of them are all pretty good. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. So that, yeah, anyway, sorry I'm salting, I get distracted. But yeah, have fun, go out and make some money, go out and try to do what you can to survive, I guess, huh? But you guys have a good day. Hope to hear some comments in this video, and let's start some discussions. Peace.